Cultural Storybook, December 10, 2013, Brittany Ferreira. Grade level, 3rd to 4th. CCS Content Area, Language Arts. CCS Strand, Writing. CCS Standard. Write narratives to develop real or imagined experiences or events using effective technique, descriptive details, and clear event sequences. A. Establish a situation and introduce a narrator and/or characters. Organize an event sequence that unfolds naturally. B. Use dialogue and descriptions of actions, thoughts, and feelings to develop experiences and events or show the response of characters to the situations. C. Use temporal words and phrases to signal event order. D. Provide a sense of closure. CCS topic 3.W3. It will take me about a half an hour or an hour to explain the lesson, and they will be given a week to turn it in. Students will need construction paper, markers, crayons, a pencil and a pen, some colored string, a hole puncher, and your family to talk to you about your culture and your background. You could also use a computer to type your story. Hi 3rd or 4th graders, my name is Brittany, so you can call me Miss Brittany. Today we're going to make a storybook that is going to show your classroom your culture and your background. Why culture is important is because it is who you are and it is what is a part of you. For example, I am part Japanese, Chinese, Filipino, Spanish, Portuguese, and Hawaiian. So I do have a lot of ethnicities, and I lean more towards my Japanese ethnicity because I live by that culture more. So pretty much the project is you are going to create your own storybook, just like the storybooks that you read in your library or in your teacher's classroom. You're going to make your own type of story. So you are going to be the narrator. You are going to pick what kind of pictures you want in your book, what you want to talk about, and why it's important to you. As a child, I really enjoyed reading the book Sadako and the Paper Cranes, I believe that's what it was called. It was very significant to me because of my culture and my background, because I am Japanese, and that is an example that I would use if I like to make paper cranes with my family, or I wanted to show my classmates that as a Japanese female I do origami with my culture. So you don't technically have to use the computer. You are welcome to use magazines or even your own photos from home. You can also write like how I did, in markers, in crayons, whatever you want. It's whatever you think that you want your storybook to look like. So if you were to use a computer, you could definitely look up your culture, see what kinds of things that you can find that you do at home, and you'll get an idea of what kind of story you want to make. You could also use your family to talk to figure out how you want to make your story. You can ask them what kind of things they think you do as a family that really reflects your background. And the last thing I want to say is that you should be able to have fun with this project, and you'll get to know a lot more about your family and why you guys do the things you do. And the most I can say is just to have fun with this project. Okay, so this is an example of the story book that you guys will be making. It doesn't have to look exactly like this, but this is just a little example. So over here I have punched a hole and then there's a little bird. And you can do 1, 2, 3 and make it like an actual book, or you could even do 2 holes up here. So you're gonna make it flip like that. But it's totally up to you. And so when you flip the book, what I did was I drew a picture over here and my story. I think it's backwards in camera, but this is the story, and this is the second page. And you can, it's totally up to you, at least try to make 5 pages. And this is just what I wrote. Pretty much it's about my family and I, what we do on Christmas, since it's almost Christmas, and I thought that that would have been a good story too. So yeah, it's like Santa Claus. It's just my family and I sing together, we play games, and you know, after our Christmas parties and stuff, we usually thank God, because that's our religion. We are Catholics, so that is a part of my culture, and that's why I did this kind of story. So your story will be about something that has to do with your culture. So for example, if you are Japanese and you like to make like origami with your family, that could be a story that you could write about. Another thing is, if you have a church group that you go to, it's part of religion, so that would be a part of your culture. If there's something you and your family do together, like going out or going on a trip occasionally as a family, you can make a storybook. So that's pretty much what the lesson is about. After you guys are done making your storybook, you will be able to present it to the class, so everyone in your class will know what your culture is about and get an idea of what kind of culture you have. Okay, so now that I've finished talking about the project, I wanted to talk about second language students, students that are having a hard time with understanding English and have just recently moved to the States or have started with another language at home, even if they do live in the States. If you haven't noticed, I have Chinese characters underneath certain supplies that we're going to need for this project. I put the Chinese characters there because as a A+ leader at my MIA, I have noticed that there are a lot of Chinese students that have grown up here in Hawaii and have transferred over from China or Hong Kong, and that is mostly the reason why I tried to make this project around their culture. And it's not very easy to actually speak the Mandarin or Cantonese. I tried to figure out how to, you know, like say it in a way that they would be able to understand. Definitely as a teacher, I'm going to try my best to, you know, use the different search engines or translators or take extra classes in order to understand where my students are coming from that don't understand English as easily and may not see the importance of this project as well as students that do understand English. I will definitely take a big role in trying to help these ESLs and make sure that this project really is as simple to them as any other student. Another thing is, if there's a student that is a little slower than others, I don't mind taking my time out to explain to them, you know, show more hands-on things. Like, this is the reason why I actually did my own, so students that are listening are really more understanding with the visual context, and it's more appealing to them than just me talking about a project and kind of giving them a picture but not really showing them the picture.